Hi, and welcome to our daily reflection for today from the verse of the day from the YouVersion app. And today it is, Jenny.
Yes, today it's the 5th of May, and from Psalm 130, where it says, I wait for the Lord, my whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope. That's verse 5.
Well, sort of the way I introduced it was really gung-ho, and now it says wait on the God.
Let's wait.
It's got a different feel about it. And I think this psalm is a psalm of ascent. It's really the Israelites going up to Jerusalem and again for another year. And the whole psalm is about waiting for God to bring about his promises to the fulfillment will come. One day, put your hope in God, and yet you may not be seeing it today. And I think that's probably very apt for us all in this.
Well, it is in this particular climate.
Yep.
Were they waiting for the Messiah? Were they waiting for God's fulfillment for other things? What sort of things?
Well, Israelites have used the psalm lots of different ways at different times, and they're still probably saying it. Well, they are still saying waiting. It, yes, in that sense. So it covers a whole gamut of times. And when this one was exactly written, I'm not sure.
But it poses the question of how do you wait, and how do you wait well, and wait in a way that's not anxious or ponderous or despairing, or
trying to twist God's arm or speed up the process,
make things happen. I guess that's a bit like Abram and Sarah. They were then trying to speed up the process and have this.
God's promised it, so we better make sure it's going to happen.
And so all of a sudden Hagar was in the mix, and sadly that wasn't God's plan.
And although God still looked after Hagar and the offspring and all the rest of it, so it's not that God was unfaithful.
No,
it was that Abraham and Sarah were unfaithful.
Were not patient in the process, and so easy for us to make things happen, isn't it?
Or try to make things happen. I'm not very good at making things happen. I just tend to make them worse.
But,
that's right. And it's helpful to be reminded of God's bigger purposes. God's got a big agenda for planet Earth. We're just here for a small piece of time in the middle of it, and God constantly reminds us through the scriptures to remember God's bigger plan rather than our immediate circumstances.
Our little century or so that we might be here for.
And for us with 36 Media, we prayed day after day, month after month, year after year that we would find a resolution to it. And the resolution that did come was that we had to close it down and sell it.
That was our publishing company. So it all fell into pieces. This was in the early 2000s, and that was a sad time for us, really.
And we had been waiting, we thought, for a long time. And God's resolution was not necessarily what we thought it was. But because of hope, which it talks about here, that we hoped in God that even when it became really difficult, when we had to close it down, and we actually moved house, moved state, moved to Tasmania.
Ended up in debt, huge amount of debt.
That God in his wisdom had a way through. And here we are, 20-something, not quite 20 years later, and we'd say God's been faithful. And we haven't lost faith by God's grace. God has met us in a profound and powerful way, and we have learned. I think we're still learning to wait on God. We're still waiting on God for things that we've sensed that God might have for us. And we may never see them all in our lifetime, but that doesn't stop us giving up our hope and our trust in God in all those things.
And it's like that in this time where it feels a little bit like we might be able to relax our waiting to see each other again or to be in each other's physical presence in a way we haven't been able to be for weeks. And it's so easy to champ at the bit and go, yes, I'm going to get out there and do things. But that we still need to be self-controlled and patient with where we are right now.
And allow God to use the time to teach us, to grow us, to make us become people more like God is, in incredible patience over many years, not just with me, but with the human race. God is always patient and gracious and encourages us to have the same attitude and the same disposition to life. So,
it's a big thing. It's not a simple thing to wait well and to wait with patience and to wait, understanding that there is hope and sometimes there is a death, but let's remember too that through death there is always, or through the end of something, there is always the beginning
of the next thing, because God is a God of resurrection. So may we wait well on the Lord. May we sustain hope at this point in time.
Yep. Catch you next time.
Bye.